I've had the pleasure of actually, I think I attended a coffee and conversation with Maritza. And so I'm super excited that she's here. And I know she has lots of information for us. And so I'm just gonna have her jump right on in and talk to us. Hi, Maritza, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this conference, for sharing space with all of you. I've been joining here and there throughout the day. Give me one sec. And I mean, it's very powerful information. Like you said, everything that all the speakers have been sharing throughout the day, you're starting to put everything into perspective. And I'm pretty sure that all of you that are attending the conference are gonna feel or already feel empowered, like, yes, I can do this. I'm loving it. I am Maritza Gomez. I am one of the counselors at the Inland Empire Women's Business Center. I have benefited from the work from the Inland Empire Women's Business Center. I am a business owner as well. And I am going to share some of the information that has helped me create my business or grow my business. I am owner of MG Custom Printing. We started as an e-commerce store or an e-commerce business. And now I do have a brick and mortar, but I do have an e-commerce platform as well. So we'll jump right in. If you have any questions, I believe you'll assist me with answering those questions, right, Nestle? Or I'm not answering, but letting me know when there's something there. Okay.
Yes, I will.
Okay, perfect. Let me move some stuff around just so I can see better here. Okay. And I'm pretty sure Michelle went through who the Inland Empire Women's Business Center are. So I'll just kind of go through it really quick for those of you that weren't part of the first part of her presentation. We have two centers. We have one in the Inland Empire, which is in Colton, and we also have one in Coachella Valley. We are a program of the Inland Empire Center of Entrepreneurship, and we're partially funded by the SBA. Here just kind of gives you an idea of some of the community programs that we have. Our purpose is supporting and celebrating entrepreneurship and small businesses. We provide innovative programs and educational resources to entrepreneurs and small business owners. At the center, at the Women's Business Center, our mission is to counsel, teach, encourage, and inspire women business owners at every stage of development and expansion. Even though we are a women's business center, we do assist anybody that comes through our doors. So don't feel intimidated because we say women's business center, but we assist everybody that comes for help. We offer online workshops right now. Once we go back to in-person, we will have in-person workshops. We have dedicated programs and networking events. And the best part that most of you or all of you can benefit from is that free business counseling. All of us counselors have different areas of expertise. Most of us are business owners. So we're bringing you that hands-on experience that we've encountered as business owners, and we're sharing it with you. And again, here is the website for the Inland Empire, iewbc.org. And we also have the Coachella Valley, which is cvwbc.org. All right, and today I'm going to tell you how to start an online business. So we're going to cover how to assess the viability of your new business idea, how to develop a business plan, the legal entities, how to choose a business name, and also how to take care of all of the legal tasks, building a website, and then one of the most rewarding would be to launch your online business. A lot of people think that just because you're starting an online business that you're not a business, but you really have to think of yourself as a brick and mortar. you're at virtual brick and mortar. You still have all those responsibilities, but we'll go through and cover them. So the first thing is everybody's like, well, you go somewhere or you see somebody being very successful and you say, I could sell this online. I mean, if you're looking at it for the long run, you definitely want to make sure that you're planning. So let's say you have a business idea. You want to evaluate your business idea, make sure that you're solving a problem for your target audience. So some of the potential questions to ask is my business solving a problem for a wide audience? And we say wide because remember, you are going to be online selling to the World Wide Web. So this is not just, the corner bakery store or the corner coffee shop selling something. You are opening your doors to everybody that has access to the internet. And also, you want to make sure that that people are going to want to spend their money on your product. You as the business owner, you as your product or your service, you keep in mind that you are, even though you love, let's say that you love this is your favorite water and you're like, I love it. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to love it. But you have to remember that you are not buying your own product. You may hate the size of it, but everybody else thinks like, yes, I'm willing to pay for that. When you think like, why would I? I don't want to sell it. So you want to make sure that people are going to want to spend their money on your product or your service. And then one of the things and we actually have a program at the center, is developing a business plan. This is not everything that the business plan includes, because we actually have a business plan boot camp, and I don't want to bombard you with a lot of information, but a business plan is a living document that's going to help you elaborate your business idea into a profitable business. You are investing your time working out most, if not all of the what ifs. So you're investing time, but not money yet. And something I didn't include here, but you want to make sure that you do the business plan yourself, or you have somebody assist you, like the Women's Business Center, in writing that business plan. You never want to pay somebody to do it because they're not going to know how to develop that idea further, and they're not going to have the same passion as you. But a business plan is going to help you identify what legal business structure you want to be, the potential roadblocks in your industry and how to address them. It's going to help you identify the goals and the objectives, realistic goals and objectives. Your target market. Your target market is very important for any business because we are not selling to everybody. Everybody is not going to buy this water bottle. Everybody's not going to buy what you're selling. You want to make sure that you're targeting a specific group, or if you have a niche, that you're targeting them, not the World Wide Web. And also, how much money are you going to need to start the business? A lot of the times we think, well, that looks easy. I'm just going to open a website, buy stuff in bulk, and people are going to start buying, but you don't know how much you actually need to start it. So instead of going out and spending your savings and then realizing that you need more money, developing a business plan is going to save you all those headaches before you actually put in your money. It's going to help you identify your sourcing methods. Your sourcing methods are you buying them local? Are you buying stuff in bulk and then reselling them? Or where are you going to get those items from? And your financial projections. That includes how much are you going to charge for your product or service? How many of a specific product or a service do you have to sell each month to make sure that you're breaking even? So your financial projections can be projections for 1 year, for 3 years or for 5 years. And again, that's just something, I'm condensing the information, but we do offer we actually have a program called It's Your Time, but we also have a boot camp that's about 2 days. I want to say we expanded it into 2 days to give you more elaborate information. Okay, and then our second part is the legal entities. There are 4 different legal entities that you want to consider. Most people start as a sole proprietor. That is one person. You don't need to hire an attorney to help you decide what you want to do. A sole proprietor, like it says here, it's the simplest form of business structure, but it lacks limited liability and it offsets its simplicity. You can start as a sole proprietor, and then if you see the business is growing, then you can move on to the next one. The next one is partnership. While this is a former business structure might appeal to you, but if you're embarking on your venture with a partner, your liability is unlimited as like a sole proprietor. So both of you, if you're going into a partnership with 2 people or 3 people, each of you are have that liability under your belt. The next one is an LLC. It's a limited liability company. A lot of people say, well, I want to open an LLC because it may sound like kind of cool. But it does offer limited liability without the additional complexity of incorporating, making it one of the most popular small business structures. And the next one is corporations. And under corporations, there's an S Corp and a C Corp. Just throwing my disclaimer out there, I am not an attorney. So once you want to start one of these, you want to make sure that you're seeking the right legal assistance. But a corporation is similar to an LLC. It provides limited liability and is more complicated to both set up and maintain. It may be a good choice depending on your circumstances. I'll give you a quick example. When I started my business, I started as a partnership with my mom. And then eventually I incorporated. My mom is no longer, she's an employee, but she's no longer an owner of the company. And I went ahead and incorporated. It is still just me. So you don't need 5 or 6 people to say you're a corporation. You can actually do it yourself. Be the sole owner of your corporation. But I would recommend you either take one of our workshops to get a little bit more information, or also seek the assistance of a lawyer. Okay, so choosing a business name. You want to make sure that you're selecting the right name for your business. It may seem easy, but it definitely requires a lot of thought. When I was thinking of my business name, I actually, every night, like I would try to think, okay, what do I want my business to be? I wasn't thinking just for creating the business. I was actually thinking more on the long run. The name of my business is MG Custom Printing. The first name that I wanted for my business was actually Mugs and More by Maritza. It sounds a little bit more appealing than MG Custom Printing. It's telling you what I sell, but it was already taken. And I was thinking, well, in the future, if I want to sell the business, they're going to rebrand it or they're going to rename it because it has my name on it. So some of the things that you want to consider when you're thinking of the business name is the domain still available? If the .com is taken, consider the .net, the .shop, the .org, and I believe now there's a whole bunch of other different extensions. You want to check your county or your state to see if somebody else is using that name. And now that we are in a virtual space where online presence is important, you want to make sure that that social media username is still available. You want to make sure that your business name is not confusing. If I were to just say MG Custom and not have the printing part on it, people would wonder, well, MG Custom, what? Do you custom do closet? Do you do custom colors? Do you do this? But now that I added the printing part, now I get calls, anything related to printing, whether it's paper printing, banner printing, even though I may not do all of those, I'm more that just having that printing part, it's allowing my business to grow without me having to add that in more at, after the printing part. And then we'll cover a little bit more on how to check here if somebody else is using it, using that same name on in your state, excuse me, in your county. Okay. So you want to make sure, like I said, even though you are going to be an online store, you are opening the virtual doors to everybody, anybody that has computer access. So you want to make sure that you're registering your business with the appropriate government authorities. And that includes your fictitious business name. If you are incorporating, you have to go through the state of California and file your paperwork for an LLC or a corporation. And the fictitious business name, each county has a department. Here in Riverside County, you go down to the county assessor, like where you go and pay your property taxes. You go there and you actually, they have computers where you can look up the fictitious business name if you rather do it in person, but you can also go online and search to see who is using, if anybody is using a name that you want to use. The reason why you want to do that, again, is to make sure that nobody else is using it. But if you're putting all this thought and saying, I want my name to be this, you get down to the county clerk's office and they're not going to let you file the paperwork because somebody else is using that name, or your name is very similar to somebody else. So you want to make sure you check that. You want to obtain all of the required permits and licenses for what you're going to sell. One includes the business license. If you are selling merchandise, you do need to have the seller's permit. And the cost of the city business license is going to vary by your city. Here in Riverside, there's actually a Riverside County business license. But if you are within the city limits, closer to downtown, you do need to have a city business license. And again, the price is going to vary. A seller's permit, you can get that online and it's completely free. If anybody is charging you to get one, they're probably just charging you to do the paperwork. But it's asking you a couple of questions, and you could even get it within 15 to 20 minutes after you complete your application. Something that I didn't include here, if you're going to be selling prepackaged food or anything that people are going to eat, you may need, or I'm pretty sure you do, you need a health permit. So it all depends on what you intend to sell. You want to make sure that you're meeting all of the federal and state tax requirements, such as applying for a state or federal tax ID. And that is your EIN number, also known as the employer identification number. And you may be wondering, well, it's just me. I'm not an employer because I don't have employees. The EIN number, yes, it serves as an employer. But the way that I like to see it is that number is like the social security number, but for your business. Instead of you, every time they ask you, oh, can we have your EIN number? Or if you're filling out forms where you're selling a service and they require you to fill out a form to send you something at the end of the year, instead of you giving out your social security number as a sole proprietor, then you give your EIN number. And that's for tax purposes. And you also need, when you're opening a business account, they are going to ask you for an EIN number. And that's just to let them know, yes, I'm a legitimate business and I need a business bank account. And besides the EIN number, they're going to ask you for a copy of the fictitious business name. I strongly recommend you open a business bank account as soon as you're ready to start selling. Yes, we know that the money is yours because you're investing your own money, but you still have to start separating your business money from your personal money. It's going to make it much easier for you to keep track of it's going to help you keep track of your expenses. And if you ever get audited, you just have to show them your business account. It's going to be easier to do your taxes, keep track of how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. And just trust me, it'll make your life much, much easier. And here are some of the e-commerce platforms. And if you're not sure what an e-commerce is, it's a commercial, a dictionary definition, it's commercial transactions conducted electronically on the internet. And with the e-commerce platform, like Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, or Big Cartel, anytime you go online, they're processing a payment for you. You don't have to create it. I mean, you have to create a website, but you don't have to do the programming and say, well, I want to accept this payment or I want to accept that payment. Now with platforms like these, they're processing the payments for you. You never get to see the customer's credit card information. You'll see maybe the last four numbers, you'll see their shipping address, their phone number, but they're processing that for you. But of course, they are going to take a small percentage of what you sell, but it's because they're a platform, they're an e-commerce platform. I personally have Shopify. I believe there's the Square e-commerce platform as well. The two that I use are Shopify and Etsy. Shopify is great for products. And if any of you have social media, you may see that when people are posting, they tag the product, you click on it, it takes you to this different little page on your phone. And if you continue, it even gives you the option to go to the website for that specific product. One of the platforms that's only doing that right now is Shopify. You connect your Shopify, your Instagram to Shopify. The other, which I'm not too familiar, but I know that Amazon, I mean, obviously we all shop on Amazon, but people can start selling on Amazon as well. The other one that I use is Etsy. I started with Etsy. If you're not familiar with Etsy, it started as what I like to call, it's like the eBay for crafters, but Etsy has expanded. Yes, you can sell worldwide. You can actually set those boundaries. If you only want to sell to the US, you can. Not besides a product, a physical product, you can sell a digital product as well. If you're selling maybe an ebook or graphics, and let me see what else, templates, anything that you know that people want to buy that's going to make their life easier. If it's digital, you can do it there. And Big Cartel is similar to Shopify. Some of my customers use Big Cartel. It allows them to, of course, sell online. It also allows them to connect to third-party, let's say, I'm going to call them third-party printers. Let's say that somebody says, I'm a graphic artist. I want to start putting my graphic on merchandise, but I just don't have the time to keep inventory, to do the shipping. I can't think of the name right now, but there's a third party, like a drop shipper. You upload your graphics, you select what products you want your items, your graphics to be printed on, and they do the back end for you. It's great for somebody that's just beginning and says, I want to have some income coming in. If I see that I'm making a lot of money, then I can switch it, and you can do your own fulfilling of your orders. Okay, so the next one is the fun part, building your website. First you have to choose your platform. Hopefully by the time you're here, you already selected your domain. And there's actually a step. A lot of people think, well, I'm gonna buy the domain. It's only $15 a year. That's pretty cheap. But then they go in and they start building the website with the free templates, depending on what platform they decided to purchase it from. And then now you're like, okay, I'm ready to launch my business. You go to publish it and it's asking you for money. And then you're like, well, I thought I already paid for it. So the first thing you pay is just for the domain. It's not live. If you were to go on and search for my business or my startup business.com. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's out there, but let's say that's your business name. And it's gonna tell you that it's not available if you already purchased that domain. So you have your domain, and then you actually have to find a platform to host your website. And the host is who's going to charge you to host your business or your domain on their platform. And that usually runs, no, I'm not going to give you a price because it varies. I'll give you a price with what I have. I have Shopify. They do have templates that I can use for my store. They are very simple templates, but at least for now, until we start getting more traffic on the website, then that's going to be enough. They charge $20 a month to host, not to host, excuse me, for you to have an e-commerce platform. Then of course you customize your website with your brand colors. You make sure that you're selecting the boxes for the prices, the products, that it looks nice. A lot of the times people think, well, I'm ready to launch, or I don't feel like I'm ready to launch. The website looks great, but you're just afraid to do it. The good thing or the great thing when you're building a website on your own, these platforms give you the option of editing in real time your product. So let's say that you realize, like, I made a mistake. This product was supposed to be $12.99 and I put it for $129. Once you catch that mistake, then you can go back in and correct it. Okay, let me see. So you have your website, you have your product, you're ready to go. But before you actually say, well, I'm not going to start marketing until I have everything ready. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that while you're working on your website, getting the product, that you have a marketing strategy. And this is also developed in your business plan. You want to start creating and posting content on your social media platforms, because it's going to help you increase your online presence, but at the same time, you're letting people know this is coming soon. Stay tuned, more information. So you're building that audience before you actually launch, because you don't want to think of it as a brick and mortar. They may not say, okay, we're opening our doors, and the day comes like, okay, today is our grand opening, and nobody shows up. Is because they didn't have that a marketing strategy, that before they actually open the doors and were open to the public, that they had a line of people waiting for them to open. This helps with that, building that anticipation. We as humans, if we see something something online, they're like, you're giving us little hints. We're curious we're curious individuals. We want to know, like, okay, well, what is it that they're selling? And in order for me to stay up to date, I'm going to go follow them, or I'm going to turn on my notifications to make sure that I don't miss any content. Another thing that you want to create is maybe have giveaways. Do you just have to really be creative and step outside of your comfort zone when it comes to marketing for your business? Again, it is your business, but you are not the one purchasing your product. You have to think of it as, you have to see your business from your customer's point of view, and that's where your target market is very important. And then launching your new business. So you can have a virtual ribbon cutting. I mean, online, you're not going to have a physical ribbon cutting, but actually, again, you have to be creative. Maybe you can rent a space somewhere and say, for anybody that's local, come and celebrate the launching of our business. This is here, you can come and see the products in person. You could even shop. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine a a ribbon cutting. I mean, but yes, this is your business. Be creative as you want to. One tip that I want to make sure that you put on your to-do list is make sure the website is accepting payments and your shipping profiles have been set up. I worked with a client, and we were getting ready to launch the website, and she messages me, I want to say maybe at close to midnight. At that time, I was still up. And she says, like, Maritza, it's not working, or, can you help me? And what I did, I went through her. I told her, okay, go ahead and make the website live. I mean, everybody's asleep. They're not going to know. I went through it and tried to purchase something, and it didn't allow me to do so. So I was able to work with her in the middle of the night to make sure that by the time people woke up and started shopping, that everything was working. So you want to make sure you do that. Announce it on your social media platforms, go live, walk the audience through your virtual store. I mean, we have Zoom where you can do that. You can talk, you can take them through how to order, show them how to use your store. Since you started announcing or creating content on your social media platforms, make sure that you're also getting subscribers. Sign up and maybe get a percentage off when we launch our business. So make sure that if you have a list of subscribers, that you send them an e-blast and letting them know, like, hey, we're launching this. This is for subscribers only. We're giving you an X amount of discount off. If it's within your budget, create online ads. Like I mentioned earlier, do giveaways. Be creative and use technology to your advantage. Let me see. We're definitely going to have time for questions, or maybe I went through it too quick. Yes. So this is that's the end of my presentation. Any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. This is my email, maritza@iewbc.org. If you want to set up a counseling session with me, I'd be more than happy to do that. If you think, well, I think my business is this, I'm pretty sure I can make a lot of money, make an appointment with one of us, and we can help you elaborate that idea and see if it's if your idea is feasible. I'm going to look in the chat and see if I missed anything.
So far, it does not seem that you've missed anything, but everyone is absolutely asking for the presentation so they can go deeper into it and see it better. Maritza, wow. That is priceless, absolutely priceless. You and Michelle, you put all the ideas and everything, not all of it. Now we have a step-by-step guideline on how we're going to put all this information into a real plan. And so I really want to thank you for doing this. Any questions for Maritza? We have a few minutes before we start our closing. So any questions? Well, everyone's excited. So you did a great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
But
Oh, sorry. I know I covered it maybe a little bit too fast, or it's Sunday night. People are a little tired. I'm gonna I'll email you the presentation. That way you
yes,
can share it with those attending. Any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Um, we are here to help you. You are not alone in this journey, and no business idea is too small. I mean, and you never know. If you think, well, I need a whole bunch of money, I need to have a brick and mortar, I need to do this, I need to do that before I start. Just like Nike says, just do it. One of the presenters that I love what she said, and I believe it was the first one, Dr. Shirley.
mhm,
She said, tomorrow is today.
that's
And you
right.
want to make sure, that's tomorrow is definitely today. You don't have to start selling a whole bunch of things online. You can start with one thing and then little by little start growing your inventory.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Tomorrow is today. And I think a lot of times people think I have to have all of this, and then thinking that way, it becomes extremely overwhelming.
Mhm.
And then you can't move forward. But if we can, number one, you've given us great step-by-step way into making sure that we plan it well, so that when we do start, we have the ability to sustain and to carry it out and to be successful, and not have to stop in the midway and go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't do this. But if we follow the steps that you've laid out, then we see very clearly how we can carry it and continue and get better and better at what it is that God has put on our heart to do, whether it's a business, whether it's a nonprofit. I mean, I believe what you shared can be applied to just about
Mhm.
anything. So thank you so much, Maritza,
You're welcome.
um, for everything, for being here, for everything.